if you are doing a strength program, or if you're in a CrossFit class that's following any kind of strength program, oftentimes you are going to see percentage work. So in your strength work, it may say that you're doing back squats today, strict press today, any kind of lift that it might be, and it's going to give you a percentage. You're going to do 70% by 3, 80% by 3, or 90% by 3. So you've got this percentage that you have to hit. So for me, when I first started following actual strength programs and I saw the percentage, I, in my mind, thought that the percentage was of the number that I wanted to hit. So if I wanted to hit a 300-pound bench press, then I would do 90% of the weight, my goal weight that I was going to hit. So many of you may have a question of, well, what do I base my percentages off of? Do I base it off of my 1 rep max? Do I base it off of the number that I actually want to hit? What do I base those percentages off of? And if I don't have a max, how do I follow these percentages? So I'll go over that as well. But as far as following percentages, I would say for technical lifts, like the snatch, the clean, the jerk, even squats, deadlifts, and strict press, if your technique is not there, if you need to work on your technique for those lifts, then what I would say is take your max. So let's say your max was 100 pounds. All right, and you're gonna start your first strength cycle, if it's a 4-week cycle, with, instead of 100 pounds, which is your 1 rep max, you're gonna start with 80 or 90 pounds. So you're gonna actually use 80 or 90% of your 1 rep max, what your actual 1 rep max is. So even though your 1 rep max is 100, we want to establish technical proficiency. So you want to be able to do those lifts and make them look good, have the right technique, and be safe. And you want to be able to move the bar fast. Oftentimes, moving the bar with speed, technique, and efficiency, if you go up just little by little by little, progressive overload, over time, you'll hit bigger PRs, and you'll actually be even better than if you try to use that heavy weight. Even some of the most experienced weightlifters, as they begin to get close to competition and they start to use a lot of heavy weight and the intensity goes up, you will see that sometimes if they start going heavy too early, their form will start to break down. This is even some of the best technical lifters in the world. Through their strength cycle, if they're heavy all the time, their technique just starts to break down. There's a certain weight to which you can use and really work on technique. So I would say for beginners or for people trying to work on technique, 80% of your actual 1 rep max or 90%. Rarely is anybody going to use 100% of they're actually going to use their max for those, to base those percentages off of. Unless you're just really proficient with the lift and you're pretty much flawless in the movement. In that case, you would base your percentages off your actual max. So I hope that clears it up for you. So most of the time you're going to keep it a little bit lighter than normal until you go for that big heavy PR day. Now, for those of you who don't have a 1 rep max, if you don't have a 1 rep max established and you're like, oh man, we've got to do percentage work, what I want you to do is take those percentages and use them as a rate of perceived effort scale. So if we made a scale on 1 to 10, with 1 being super easy and then 10, the lift being a complete max, right? So 10 would be, this is the hardest lift that we've ever done. So what I'm gonna say is, for your first working set, I want you to be at a 7 out of 10 if it's 70%. So 70%, you're gonna be a 7 out of 10 effort. 80%, 8 out of 10 effort. 90%, 9 out of 10 effort. 100% effort for 3 would mean that your very last rep was almost a failure. You barely squeaked out that rep. So 90% is going to be pretty challenging. So 9 out of 10 effort, and so you're going to have a few reps in reserve. For that 90%, you hit it for 3, and it's a 9 out of 10. You're going to know that you could have done that weight for maybe 4 or 5 reps. So especially if you're new, I would, keep it fairly light to start. Challenging weights are going to give your body a stimulus, and you're going to get to work on your form a lot. So I hope that clears that up. If you have any questions, just hit me up, shoot me a DM. Make sure you're following Fuel Fitness Co. on Instagram. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're on YouTube, and thanks for watching.